Hello, Castanets. Dave Reed here up at the top just to give you a quick reminder that we don't have an episode for next week. This is the last of the things that we've pre-recorded, this episode of Would You Watch This? One of my favorite side projects, not one of my favorite side project that we do that is, outside of the X-Files, where Kristen describes a movie to me that I have no interest in watching, and then at the end asks me, would I watch it? So far, 2 for 2. I would watch both of them. I will put the name of the movie in the show notes, so if you want to know which movie it is before you listen to this, you can just look through the show notes and put it in there. Or if you just want to play along with me, blind, I do figure out what the movie is like 41 minutes into it. But it'll be in there if you want to look at it, and if you don't, just don't look. We recorded this one over a year ago at this point, and at the end we have a special guest with us, Kristen's son, my stepson Riley, watched it with me at the end, and we talk a little bit about it. Having 3 people on the mic was not good, so the audio, like the last 3 minutes, not great, but good enough, I guess. But I hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll be back week after next, the regular Cast Files episode. A one that I'm looking forward to, I can tell you that, because, if you know, you know. And if you don't know, you can find out with us week after next.
This is Would You Watch This? A podcast where I, Kristen Riley, watch and relay a movie to
Dave Reed, so I don't have to watch it.
That's right. So I don't want to give anything away up top. Here is my synopsis. I have from Hulu and IMDb, but here's mine.
Okay.
This movie is a silent man cleans a defunct children's play palace the day before it opens and does an amazing job.
Okay.
So far, would you watch this?
So far, if it was a children's palace, I would watch it. Because that store closed so long ago, it's barely in my memory. I just remember that the mascot was a panda.
Aw, that sounds nice. I'm not going to tell you what year this came out, but this movie is 1 hour and 28 minutes under the action horror movie genre. The opening companies are Land Afar, Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment.
Oh, what?
Saturn Films, and JD Entertainment. I just wanted to grab a couple. It wasn't all of them, but you know how they open with a series of names, and some of them were just wild.
I feel like I've seen something by Land Afar.
Probably. So the first little bits of trivia, I don't know if you're going to know any of these people, so I can use them. Do you know Christian Del Grosso, Kai Cadleck, or Kaylee Cohen?
Not off the top of my head, no.
They lived together for a month while filming this movie.
In the defunct children's palace?
I hope so. Director Kevin Lewis was struck by Emily Tosta's unique combination of toughness and sensitivity and knew immediately that she was perfect for the role of Liz. Liv, I mean.
Well, good job.
I call
Emily,
her...
what's your face?
Yep. I call her young woman throughout the whole thing. Oh, I also don't have actual names for these people because they don't tell me the names until way into it, so I've already been talking about who they are, so everybody has a nickname to give you a...
What?
Yes.
They don't tell you the names of the people.
No.
Good filmmaking.
I think a lot of movies do that, where you eventually figure out what their names are because that's less important than what their character is, except when you're writing about it as you're going and discovering who these people are, and I have to refer to young woman as somebody, so she's young woman.
Every movie I voluntarily watch, at the very beginning, they have freeze frames of the people. And then like a splash of Hannibal, the brains.
So you're already...
Face, the face. Murdoch, insane pilot.
So you're already out.
I'm out.
I haven't even
Episode
started.
over. All right, till next time, guys.
I do want to tell you one last thing before we get into the movie, just to give you, just really set up how this movie is going to go.
Okay.
Prior to this movie, director Kevin Lewis had not directed a project since 2007. Of those, the highest rated on IMDb as of July 2020 is The Method from 1996, with a 5.1 out of 10. The highest rated.
Uh-huh. So now I know that it's well after 2007 that this was made.
But you still don't know how well.
I have a feeling I know how well it was made.
I mean, that's still almost 15 years, so it's a lot. Okay, here we go. It opens on the Family Fun Center commercial. There's characters and singing about a birthday. So this is a song I've had in my head forever. Oh. It's your birthday, something, 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 something.
Those are strange lyrics for a birthday song.
All I got is, it's your birthday, la 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 la. On repeat since the first time I watched this.
Perfect.
We zoom out from the commercial and we're in real life. There are two adults. They're both wearing the shirts from the play place and they're covered in blood. The adults are looking scared. Someone drags the man down the hall and the woman gets away. She's out into an open area. She starts to look relieved. I don't know why. This place looks scary as hell. But she looks relieved. She turns her head and makes eye contact with somebody. It turns out it's a small child. She smiles. We cut away. We cut back to the TV, a TV on the trolley. Remember those from grade school? With the commercial playing again. We hear a blood-curdling scream from the woman. And we see blood just splatter all over the TV. That is the opening scene. Here's a piece of trivia. The screenplay was high on the blood list, a list of highly anticipated genre scripts.
Okay.
So I've just got trivia throughout. Now we have the opening sequence. It's a Chevy commercial.
The
opening sequence is a Chevy commercial. Very impressive car driving through the countryside, clips in with names, all of the regular opening stuff. Close up on a decal I'm supposed to recognize. I get all of the cues that I'm supposed to be really impressed about this car, and they're showing me all of the things. Have no idea which kind of car this is. It's a Chevy something.
Is it older? Is it newer?
I think it's newer.
Oh, then I have no idea.
It is a nice car, and I got all the cues that I'm supposed to think, ooh, nice car. Don't know what kind of car it is. Zoomed in on a logo. No idea.
Well, Chevy logo, clearly.
Yes, but another logo.
Oh, okay.
On the Chevy. It's some special car. Who knows? The man hits something that punctures his tires. All of his tires.
Okay.
He pulls over. We see he's wearing a leather jacket. He's got worn jeans and broken-in boots. Just kind of a cool guy outfit. We zoom up. We pan up to his face. He's got very groomed facial hair and mirrored glasses. I'm not going to tell you who he is.
Okay.
But he's cool dude.
Cool dude.
He obviously is stuck there because none of his tires work now. He goes into the trunk where he retrieves Punch Pop. He grabs a warm pop and stands and waits for the tow truck. When the tow truck pulls up as it arrives, he stands directly in front of it like he's staring down the tow truck. Next scene, he's riding in the tow truck while the driver chatters away. We discover the zigzags, which is what punctured his tire. Didn't know that's what they were called, but they're zigzag things with spikes in them that people throw in the road. The driver says that sometimes kids are throwing them out the window, just causing trouble. Mystery Man is what I have deemed this guy. He says nothing. We cut to a young woman. She's wearing burgundy Doc Martens. For some reason, we zoom in on her feet. And then we see she's wearing skinny jeans and she's dumping gasoline all over the play palace that we saw in the commercial in the opening. She steps away and tries to light it, but her lighter doesn't work. And that's when we see that it's the Family Fun Center. But I already told you that. A cop arrests the young woman before she can set it ablaze. Next scene, the young woman is handcuffed, and the cop is taking her to a trailer, which also looks like a home. So basically, the cop takes her home. The tow truck guy pulls up with the mystery man. Tow truck guy says, "This guy found your zigzags. Thought I'd bring them back to you." He keeps chattering, and the young woman makes eye contact with the stranger, or actually stares at his mirrored glasses. They don't say anything. It's the last that we hear, because the driver keeps chattering, but they fade him out in the background, and so it's just they're staring at each other. The driver leaves when the cop tells him she doesn't have time for this right now. The cop throws the young woman in the trailer. Apparently this is routine. This is not the first time this has happened. Inside, the young woman tells her to take the cuffs off. The cop does, and then drags the woman to a radiator and cuffs her to the radiator. She says she'll be back tomorrow, and the young woman says, "How am I supposed to eat or take a piss?" And the cop says, "There are chips on the coffee table and a bucket on the floor. Try not to make a mess."
Okay. Well, if this is not my trailer and you handcuff me to the radiator, I'm making a mess.
Next, we see the tow truck pull up to his shop. The tow truck guy is checking the engine of the car, even though it was the tires that were all punctured. Whatever. Mystery Man notices all the missing person signs around the warehouse. There are signs on signs on signs on signs. It's like one of those community boards you see in a coffee shop that nobody's ever cleaned off. They just keep putting flyers on.
Okay.
Just missing persons. The tow truck guy says it'll cost him $1,000
For his tires?
for whatever to fix his car. It's $1,000.
All right.
Cash only.
Oh, okay. Do you have an ATM nearby?
The ATM has never worked. They don't have internet in the town.
Okay.
So.
Where's the nearest Chase Bank?
There is none. We are out in the middle of nowhere. So he says, you don't have that cash on you, do you? No.
$1,000?
Yes.
No, sir. No.
You willing to work it off?
Oh. What?
Yep. Zoom in on a close-up of Mystery Man. Tow truck guy is reflected in his mirrored shades. It's all very intense and deliberate. And he nods.
Whoa, all right. Glad mirrored sunglasses guy is open-minded.
You know? Tow truck guy takes Mystery Man to the building from the Family Fun Center commercial. He meets the owner. The owner is Business Cowboy. He is dressed all in white, has his cowboy hat, white cowboy hat, and he's about to reopen the place.
Okay.
So,
Even though it's full of gas?
they do not mention the smell of gas ever.
Okay.
Ever. I was thinking that too. Around the building on the outside, we see it's spray painted. There's graffiti all over it. A couple of the things that are spray painted are Kid Killer and Bulldoze This Hell.
All right.
It's all boarded up. Whatever. The offer is to spend the night cleaning the place, and he'll pay for Mystery Man's car to be fixed. Deal?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to get that gasoline smell out of stuff.
Mystery Man removes his glasses to stare at the cartoon creature sign up at the top of the building. Mystery Man and Business Cowboy shake hands. They go inside. Tow truck guy says, "Good luck." Inside, Business Cowboy turns on the TV, and it's playing the old birthday song. It's your birthday.
Something, 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 something.
Yes. The place is a wreck. Just destroyed. Business Cowboy tells a little bit of the backstory about why it's closed. The kids started crawling over the animatronic creatures and got hurt. There were lawsuits from mommy safety organizations.
Ugh.
He basically does the jack-off motion with his hands. And the place was shut down. Business Cowboy walks away, and Mystery Man turns away from the animatronic things as the rat moves. And I put rat question mark because somebody references that this is a rat at some point, and I kept wanting it to be a tiger. I don't know what this thing is. They say it's a rat. So that's why the place is closed down, and he wants to reopen it now that enough time has passed or whatever.
That mommy safety organization is defunct.
Yes. Ugh. There's a noisy jump scare moment, but it's just a stuck door to the cleaning closet. Business Cowboy gives Mystery Man a company shirt, the ones that we saw the dead folks at the beginning wearing.
Okay.
Business Cowboy tells him, "Good luck. Help yourself to whatever you can find in the kitchen. Be sure to take breaks. It's always good to pace yourself." When he leaves, he locks the door with a chain and a deadbolt. Not a deadbolt, a chain and a...
Padlock.
Yes.
Eek.
You have a good feeling about this?
I have a feeling I'm finding the fire exit. And if there's not one, hopefully a window or something.
Windows are all boarded up from the outside. You could probably bust out.
If need be.
Yeah.
And I would. First thing, if they're chaining me in this place, my first thing is to make sure I have an escape.
He doesn't seem to notice at this point. He will notice in a bit.
Seems like you would hear that.
I agree, but pretend that he was doing something else.
And he's gonna, because you got to keep those doors open to get some ventilation. He's gonna pass out from those gas fumes.
Outside, Business Cowboy tries to light a cigar. Tow truck guy.
Near all that gas?
Yes. Yes. I'm glad you remember the gas and I remember the gas. I'm so glad you're reacting to the gas because no one reacts to the gas.
That's all I can think about.
I'm so glad. It's okay though. The lighter doesn't light. The tow truck guy has a Slim Jim in his mouth, like a cigar. It's just every time we see him from this point on. It's dumb looking. And Business Cowboy says, let's get out of here. I can't stand to hear a grown man scream.
So they're just going to kill this guy because they want his car? Is that what I'm getting?
Next scene. The young woman's in her trailer. Remember how she's handcuffed to the radiator? Her one-dimensional friends show up to break her out. While the boys are being dorks and doing nothing helpful, just kind of going through stuff, there's the silent pinup girl with the bubble gum unlocks her cuffs with a bobby pin. This character is supposed to be... I talk about her a little bit later. She's whatever. The most impressive thing about this whole costume of this girl is that she's wearing a crop top, and then she's wearing a push-up bra under the crop top, and the push-up bra you can see under the crop top. It's obviously that's how it's supposed to... That's her intention. The push-up bra is this baby blue color, and it matches her eyeshadow exactly. And every time she shows up, I'm just like, that's impressive. How you got that eyeshadow and that bra to match exactly. So I needed to say that. I didn't write it in the notes, but every time I looked at her, I was like, I wouldn't wear blue eyeshadow, but I like how put together you've gotten for this vandalism you guys are about to do. I don't know. So now everybody's free. They all get ready to leave. Young woman says that where they're going is not for their entertainment. One of the guys says, it's got to be a little entertaining, right? They're going to go watch the place burn. That's the whole point. But she said that Mystery Man is probably locked in there. I want to watch it burn for what I seen them do to those kids, says one of the other people whose names I didn't bother to know. Another guy argues with him, and she says, this has to be a mission, not a field trip. I'm assuming these kids are supposed to be in their teens, but they all look like they're in their 20s, so I actually have no idea how old these people are supposed to be. That's why she's just young woman.
Okay.
Back at the Family Fun Center, Mystery Man puts on the shirt, and he's cleaning in an order that doesn't make sense to me.
He doesn't start with the gasoline?
No. He starts doing the floor first, and then the tables, and I just said, stop! There's a poster of Siren Sally. What the fuck, Family Fun Center? Siren Sally?
Okay, that could mean a lot of things to me.
What else?
Is she like a firefighter who's got a siren on her
No,
fire
she's
helmet?
a little fairy.
Okay.
To like siren of the...
Ocean, but not in the ocean?
Yeah.
That's...
Why couldn't they be like Fairy Fiona?
I don't know.
Look, I just did it. I just named her in one shot.
Or make her like a mermaid.
That would work too. I don't know how she would get around. Actually, doesn't matter. I would love to watch that.
Wait, get around. What is she again?
A fairy?
No, like, why does she need to get around?
Next scene.
Okay.
So, it just seems weird to have a siren in a kid's Family Fun Center. So, in this shot, he's cleaning, and the animatronics are behind him. They start to move. He stops and turns around, and they stop. So, he's not seeing them move, but he's like... And they're not making any sounds, but he's sensing they're moving or something. He goes into the kitchen. It's also a mess. There's a big bag of open flour on the table, which I believe would just have weevils in it. There isn't any blood anywhere, even though we saw at the beginning that those people definitely got murdered in here.
So somebody cleaned up the blood, but not anything else?
It seems like it. It's inconsistent in its messiness. But there's obviously no food in there. The guy was like, help yourself to any food. There's obviously no food in here.
There's flour.
Weevil flour.
And probably water.
There's an empty fridge. He places his Punch Pop in to chill and gets to work. Here's a bit of trivia. Punch, the fictional energy drink Mystery Man has a text a fistful of caffeine for your kisser on the can. So, like, this is some intense energy drink.
It's gonna punch you in the face with energy.
His watch alarm goes off after a while. It's break time. So he does take the business cowboy's advice. He has regular intervals of breaks. He set it on his watch. Good job. He's working. He's breaking. He's just legit doing this work. This is the only time that we don't see him thoroughly wash his hands at the beginning of break time, but he was using the sink. And you said there's probably water in there. The way when he turns on the sink, the entire room shakes.
Good plumbing.
because the plumbing is probably just has air in it from leaks and stuff and is just banging around. I don't know that it would be safe to drink that water. As he's on break, he grabs a punch pop. He walks around and he sees something that turns out to be a pinball machine covered in a cloth. And he is just kind of investigating it while he's on his break. His alarm goes off. He goes back to work. We see another poster that he's cleaning, Ozzy the Ostrich. I tried to capture each of the animatronic things as it was going around, just on the posters, just to get names and see how awful or good they were. And then I said, why is he mopping when everything is still trashed? It's dark. Most of the lights are off except directly over where he's working. So he's even conserving electricity for this weird business cowboy guy. Like, I would turn on all the lights. All of them. Everything. Nope. He just has the one right above him, and everything around him in this giant room is off.
So does he go over to the light switches, turn on the one he's going to go clean it, then go back? Just walk through the dark on his way to the light switches?
Probably.
Interesting concept.
I don't know. This is how he's working in here. In the dark, an animatronic slowly moves. Suddenly, there's an animatronic ostrich right behind him. He turns, punches it kinda. Like you mentioned when you saw something in the dark.
That's exactly what I thought.
And you kind of like batted at it. That's what he does. Yep.
For everybody listening, one day going upstairs, by the stairs we have a DVD case that has these half masks on them. Mm-hmm. And in the dark, I'm standing right next to that, and we had just recently put it there. So in my routine, it's not there. And I just kind of see something sort of looking at me a foot away.
Yeah.
And my reaction was to just kind of bat at it with the back of my hand. And it hit DVDs, and I went, oh yeah, that's what it is. But what kind of killer instinct do I have? And I'm like, demon, I'll just kind of tap it with the back of my hand.
When Mystery Man does this to the ostrich's neck, I was like, okay, I guess this is a thing. Pretty great. The ostrich says, I'm gonna feast on your face.
Ah!
And then attacks him, cutting his cheek. Mystery Man smiles, breaks the mop handle over his knee, just and then bludgeons the ostrich into an oily pulp. His finishing move is to rip the metal skeleton out of the ostrich's neck. The fight scene is approximately 30 to 45 seconds, so it is perfect. Then he walks away and goes and gets a clean shirt.
Wow, okay.
We cut to the sheriff's office. The cop who handcuffed the young woman has help. He asks her why she asked the state to send backup for one night to do curfew in a town the size of a postage stamp. He's just sitting there and he's like, why am I here? She boredly tells him that they're going to sit there all night and pray the phone doesn't ring. Seems like a waste of resources, but whatever. Back at the Family Fun Center, Mystery Man puts duct tape on his scratch. He bags the dead bird. He tries to leave, and this is when he finds the door locked.
Okay.
Which is just another bad situation because there's obviously so much trash, and he would want to take it outside at some point to put in the dumpster, and now he's just piling them by the door.
Yeah, the business cowboy and tow truck guy obviously just put him in there to kill him. And the only reason I can think of is they want his car. Or The animatronics are demons, and they need a sacrifice.
Ooh. Well, he puts the bag by the door and cleans until his watch alarm goes off. There's the thorough hand washing scene. And then the punch pop time. Back in the kitchen and the pinball machine, which he cleans during his break. I'm like, dude, you're very thorough. His alarm goes off. Break time is over. Now he heads into the men's room. There's graffiti all over. One of the things says, I am not a math scientist.
Okay.
Another says, I'm losing it! And then there's some other stuff that's tags, and then I didn't read anything else. He has a cloth and a spray bottle and makes the place immaculate. This place was brown when he walks in it, and now it is just the cleanest place. You could eat off the urinal how clean this place looks.
You get the graffiti off.
With the spray bottle! And I wrote, what is in that spray bottle? As he's finishing at the mirrors, he hears music, which he also cleans with a spray bottle. I don't know what's in this. I don't know what magic is in this bottle.
It's fabuloso.
It probably is. That's why he doesn't smell the gasoline, because it smells so nice in there. So he hears the music start. He goes out to the main area. The animatronics have started singing and dancing the birthday song. It's your birthday.
Something, 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 something.
He hits the off switch, which means someone must have turned it on.
Yes.
And a door closes. He returns to the bathroom where someone has written, "It's your birthday," with smiley face, in red, maybe blood, on the newly washed mirror. And I'm like, dude, have some respect. But at least it's on a mirror, it'd be easier to clean. And then we hear, "Let's play hide and seek." And all of the bathroom doors start slamming closed. The lights start flickering. You hear, "You'll never find me. I'm going to eat your eyes out and feast on your soul." Ha 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 ha.
I'll swallow your soul.
He systematically opens the bathroom doors. And then you hear, "Gorilla greetings!" And a big blue gorilla kicks him and they battle. It's unclear where the giant gorilla was hiding. This gorilla is taller than him and wider than him, and it wasn't in the bathroom. It swung down from the ceiling. It doesn't matter. It's an epic fight scene.
Ooh, epic.
It is also approximately 30 to 45 seconds long. And at one point, Mystery Man suctions a toilet plunger to the thing's face and drags him around by the toilet plunger. They fight. Mystery Man gets the gorilla down. They're kind of throwing each other around. Mystery Man puts the gorilla's mouth on the urinal, like a curb stomping.
Oh, yeah.
And stomps into the back of his head several times until oily goo flies everywhere. Yeah, the gorilla's dead.
Yeah, I gathered.
And now the bathroom has to be cleaned again.
Sigh.
Right? Ugh. It's clean shirt time. This time he wraps his entire middle with duct tape. I said broken ribs. I think that's a broken ribs thing. Because the gorilla did body slam him in the ribs. He bags the gorilla and puts it next to the ostrich by the door. But remember, he still can't go outside. There's a stare down with the rat animatronic. I wrote tiger animatronic because I swear it looks like it has stripes, but whatever. And then his alarm goes off. It's punch pop time. He goes back to the kitchen. As he's breaking, he starts filing his nails with sandpaper. But he's got blood. I mean, he's got not blood. He's got oily goo all over. So he's trying to clean. So, he's being meticulous, which I appreciate. And then he plays a round of pinball and break time's over. Outside at the Family Fun Center, the kids pull up in a truck and they bring more gas. They're ill-equipped to pour gas. The way that they're pouring this gas is driving me nuts. I would not be able to be there and not... And how did the director let this happen?
I don't know. Was it the same guy who directed Space?
No, that was Chris Carter.
No, he wrote Space.
Oh, he didn't write and direct?
No, I forget who directed it.
Okay.
Probably not Kevin Johnson or whoever this guy is.
Yeah, no, it isn't, but still. The way that it just drives me nuts how they're pouring gas. It's a whole incompetent scene. Like, everybody's incompetent. And before lighting the place, young woman wants to get Mystery Man out. Because the other kids were just going to light the place on fire, knowing he's in there.
Yeah, seems like if that's what you want to do, though, you do that before you pour gas on anything.
Nobody said they were... I told you it was incompetent. It's an incompetent scene. She decides she's going to go inside to save Mystery Man, probably also to keep her friends from lighting the place on fire, because she's inside. And the rest of them are supposed to help get her and Mystery Man out once she gets to him.
How'd she go in?
We're almost there.
Oh.
He's cleaning ovens as she crawls. She must have gone up on the roof or something. I don't know, actually. But she's in the largest air ducts I've ever seen in my life. So however she got in,
Like
she's
the ones that Scully was in.
Larger than those. The largest I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, why are these so big? Oh, because that's where the animatronic alligator lives.
Oh.
Duh.
Okay. Sure.
It has to be big enough to crawl through.
Makes perfect sense.
It chases her. There's a whole chase scene, and she barely escapes. But she does. The trivia about the crocodile... Oh, they say it's a crocodile. I say it's an alligator. I guess we'll fight. It is inspired by Russian cartoon Cheburashka.
Sure.
Why did I do this to myself?
I don't know.
I did this to my... I'm the only one who did this.
Yeah, you didn't write down, like, phonetically how to say it?
Nope.
I'm so disappointed in you.
Me too. Sorry, guys.
Somebody's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Is it Moses?
Probably. He's sleeping in my clean clothes.
Because he's laundry. Her friends are outside getting high off something. Which, fine, get high, but maybe wait until after the mission is over.
Yeah. Seems like they're not very bright.
Or, huff the gas fumes that you're standing in. And here's the reason that it's even worse. The timing is terrible. Guys, come on. What is this going to take? An hour? Just wait. But whatever. So one of the guys lights a joint and gives it to one of the other ones. And the guy says, oh, what is this? And he says, I grew it myself. I call it No Clue. How much THC is in it? No clue.
Whoa, so funny.
Yeah, it was real funny and also the dumbest time to do this. Your friend is in there and your job is to rescue her. You have one job. It's a very specific and important job.
Seems like they should be working on getting the chain off the door.
But no, they're smoking No Clue. Young woman finds herself in a forest wonderland, because remember she was chased by the alligator crocodile Russian cartoon, and she falls through the air ducts into this beautiful room. Like, I don't know what stage this is, but this is inside the children or the family fun center. This is the room I would be in forever. It has smoke fog, it has fairy lights, it has green trees, the works. Like, it is just a wonderland. It looks gorgeous. The fairy animatronic attacks her while singing Ring Around the Rosie really slow and creepily.
I just realized that I'm picturing Mary Elizabeth Winstead as young lady.
It works. You might as well. I just told you what she was wearing. I didn't describe her in any other way. Young woman screams. Her friends and Mystery Man hear her. So her friends are still outside. Mystery Man's in the kitchen cleaning ovens. The pinup girl seductively crawls up the ladder while her boyfriend tries to keep his friends from looking up her skirt. It's a dumb scene, and she's played as dumb, but she's literally the only one of these friends who moves the plot forward. Ever. Mystery Man finds young woman. They're both okay. They're in the forest, whatever. She says something about getting the fairy away from her for a moment. Mystery Man leaves once she's fine, and she calls after him. He never says anything to her. We see the fairy back in her spot as the spotlight blinks off. So she was up on the stage at one point, and now she's back on stage. The friends are all on the roof now. One of them, Chris, also known as Loverboy, has a crush on young woman. Shocking that one of the friends is only there for her, which is why they're all following her. It's all very obviously high school, but again, they all look like they're 25 to 29. I don't know. They fall through the roof into a ball pit. Everybody ends up falling. It's a dumb scene. It's not an epic fight scene. It's just a whatever. Young woman is there. Loverboy/Chris is thrilled to see her. Meanwhile, she's irritated that they're inside when they were supposed to help get her and Mystery Man out.
Yeah.
Because she's right.
Yeah. Them coming inside was not the plan.
No. It was really dumb. The animatronics all turn on. They're on the stage. They're all on. And young woman has a knife in her pocket, and it's a switchblade. And she runs at the fairy to stab it in the face.
Yeah.
And Mystery Man shows up, grabs her, throws her over his shoulder, and carries her away and sets her down. For some reason, he keeps her from stabbing the fairy in the face. Don't know why.
Yeah, he's killed 2 of these things already.
He hasn't said a word the whole time. We don't know. Everyone but the pinup girl and her boyfriend leave. They all go into the...
Wait, he hasn't spoken out loud the entire movie? Mm-mm. Oh, he's got a Mike Tyson voice.
So everybody goes into the kitchen except the pinup girl and her boyfriend. Those 2 go off to explore the super happy fun room and have sex. It's obvious that that's what they're going to go do. They do the whole... They make eyes at each other and you're just like...
R.I.P. them.
Yes, that's exactly. This is young woman's exposition scene. Basically, Mystery Man was lured there as a sacrifice.
Hey, they're demons.
Or are they? Let's see. She says, this town has a dark history and it all starts with this place. She says a lot of stuff, but basically 2 sentences covers it. Here's the story of what happened, though. Jerry owned the place. This guy named Jerry. Turns out he was one of the last century's greatest serial killers. Bum, bum, bum. He groomed other killers while having this play palace for families. And so eventually he was the ringleader serial killer, and everybody else who worked there were also serial killers.
A whole store full of killers.
And this is just some rural location. There's not internet in this town in a time when there should be internet. So how did he find so many serial killers?
People going crazy growing up in that town.
Probably, yeah. At the end of the night, the killers would dress in costumes, kind of like Mickey Mouse. So take that, Disney. That's 2 days in a row I made a Disney joke. They lure the family into the super happy fun room for birthday cake and then murder them. This scene shows a boy blowing out candles. He's sitting in front of this giant cake. Like, this would be every 7-year-old child's dream. You not only get to have your birthday party at the big play palace in town, because we all knew kids who hosted parties at those places. I was never one. Were you ever one?
No.
Didn't think so. This kid having his birthday party at this place, he's just the greatest. He gets chosen, specially selected for an extra after party. Huge sheet cake, candles. He's excited. All of the characters come around. His favorite characters. Yay!
Didn't he already have cake?
Yeah, but he's having another cake. And his family's around him. And as he goes to blow out the candles, you see a paw come from behind him and just blood all over the cake. And then it's kind of out of focus because we're zoomed in on the bloody cake now. But you can see his sister get grabbed by one of the other guys and pulled off out of the scene. It's creepy as fuck. It's great. So they eventually get caught because they keep doing this.
Yeah, you're going to run out. First, you're going to run out of people.
Right.
Second, somebody's going to figure out that everybody who goes and has a birthday there dies.
Yes. So eventually somebody figured it out. And rather than being killed when the SWAT team or whatever comes in to get them, the killers did a satanic ritual / suicide to relocate their souls into the animatronic critters.
Beautiful.
They used a lot of other terms and stuff, but basically that's what happened. So now all of the serial killers are living in the animatronics. 10 years later, we find out what Business Cowboy's name is. His name is Tex, so Business Cowboy. He reopens the place. We know that he says people were getting hurt. He was obviously downplaying what was happening. He was trying to pretend that it didn't have this deep, dark secret or whatever and open up the place and have parties just like it would before. Things start going wrong immediately. We get all of these little cutscenes from before. We see the the rat biting a kid, just taking a chunk out of this child's arm, just blood everywhere. We see a little girl go up to hug that gorilla that attacked him earlier. Uh-huh. It squeezes her to death.
Nice.
And then a kid walks up to the fairy and pretends like he's going to squeeze her boobs. And she says, "Wanna fuck, fatty?"
Good God.
Yeah. It's a lot. And, that kind of thing. So Business Cowboy is called to bulldoze the place, but he refuses. And one of the teens says that when he had decided at one point he was going to bulldoze the place, but he made a deal with the devil instead. The whole time this exposition is happening, they're still in the kitchen, and Mystery Man is still cleaning the oven.
Dirty oven.
It's a very dirty, it's just filthy. The animatronics start singing again back in the main room on the stage, and the teens go out to watch the show. Only Willy is on the stage now.
Willy is...
The rat.
The rat, okay.
No one notices all of the other animatronics are gone. They were just out there right before this story.
Wait, are you describing Willy's Wonderland to me?
Yes.
Oh, you should have never told me the rat's name. I would have not known that Nicolas Cage is the main guy in this. Had you not said the rat's name.
Dang it! Oh, man.
Yeah, you would have had me.
Oh.
You would have had me.
Boo. All right. Well, do you want to know what else happens?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. Good, because now it's like getting real good. We've all got everything set up. I'm still calling him Mystery Man because it's funny. Or I could call him Nick Cage. We'll see. Okay. So, I've lost my place because I must have touched this while I was sad that you figured it out. Oh, okay. No one notices. Only Willy's on the stage, the rat. He's singing a song that is not the birthday song. It's a song that's basically, if you listen to the words, it's counting down how many people used to be there and alive and how many people are about to be there and alive.
Oh! Awesome.
It's so good. It's so good. And it cuts over and the other two are having sex in the super happy fun room like we knew that they were going to. Mystery Man is in the kitchen cleaning. The animatronic knife, as Willy says something like there were 6 and now there's 5, the animatronic knight stabs one of the guys that I haven't bothered to figure out a name for, and he's bleeding out. Just stabs him straight through the gut. This sword is a broadsword. Stabs him with a broadsword. It's the biggest sword. It also looks like foam, but it also is stabbing him through the guts. Whatever. Young woman leans over him after knocking out the knight and says, "I'm sorry." So, she's fine.
Okay.
Meanwhile, it's Punch Pop time. And I want you to imagine every time that it's Punch Pop time, his little watch goes beep, 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 because that's what happens. Okay. It's great. So we go to the super happy fun room, and they're having sex while the alligator animatronic watches. The woman keeps stopping because it's freaking her out. It wasn't there at one point, but then it was there, and she's not noticing because she's busy. But at one point she looks at it and she says, "I don't like this thing." And he's like, "Don't worry about it. It's in every room. Look, it's right there. It's over here. It's painted on the walls. It's all of this stuff." Because, he's having sex. He doesn't care. And so he's like, "Come on, get back into it."
That's how that works.
So, their relationship is actually, if they weren't just to be dumb one-dimensional characters, I think that they could have been a cute couple.
Okay.
The rest of the way that they're written, they're having sex in a horror movie, so obviously. But I'm not mad at this couple, at this pairing. All right, so that's what's happening in the super happy fun room. Back in the main room, the young woman is in a showdown with the knight. They're just kind of, hasn't murdered him I don't think she's murdered anybody, but she is holding her own with the alligator and with this guy. She's staying alive, basically, which is great.
Anybody that wears maroon Doc Martens, gotta be tough.
Yes, she's tough. So there's another one of the friends who I've named Glasses Guy, because he's the only one wearing glasses. He's in this horrid room with flashing lights, just off and on, just pitch black and flash. It's basically a Halloween Horror Nights house that we wouldn't enjoy.
Oh, okay.
The fairy appears above him and looks down at him. Looks like she's going to eat him. When she opens her mouth, it's a jagged mouth with jagged teeth, and it comes up too far on her face.
Yeah, nice.
And then it's oily. Not bloody, oily. She looks like she's going to eat him, but she doesn't, because they start playing with him, batting him around And then a bunch of them come in and just feast on his body. Eyeglasses guy. Loverboy is hiding in another room. Everybody's split up at this point. After the night murdered that one guy who didn't get a name, they all split up because that's what you do. And Loverboy is in this room. It's basically an arcade. He finds a phone, calls the cops from his hideout, and tells the cops that they're at Willy's. So now we cut to the sheriff's office. It's just the female sheriff and the bonus cop. And the sheriff answers the phone and hangs up. She's like, nope. And the bonus cop's like, shouldn't we be answering that? Loverboy calls back. She tells him to get out of there. And the cops leave, presumably to go to Willy's to rescue the kids. Break time is over. His watch goes off. Mystery Man comes out into the main room and beats the animatronic knight to an oily pulp. Just beats the living snot out of him. And then he decapitates the knight with the knight's own sword. And then he and the young woman have a stare down.
Does he still have his glasses?
No. Nope, sorry. No, now he does not. He has taken them off inside.
Okay.
It would be weird.
It'd be funny.
It would be. No, when he took off his jacket, he took off his glasses. So it is funny though, because he's just got the precisest facial hair. It's just like, I don't know how long it took him to get that line. And he hasn't said a word. And you can tell he's a big tough guy who just wants to clean this goddamn place.
Yeah.
And he's wearing a Willy's Wonderland t-shirt. It's a ringer tee, like what you're wearing, though. It's actually a pretty nice tee.
Awesome. I'll be looking for one later, probably.
Yes! Okay, back in the Super Happy Fun Room, because we have to keep cutting back to the sex scene. They've been having sex this whole time. The alligator starts eating...
Oh, to be young again.
The alligator keeps eating the male, and while the female is riding him. And so she's screaming, and just her boyfriend's blood gets just all over. It's gross. Young woman and Mystery Man are walking down the hall outside of the Super Happy Fun Room, and they hear the girlfriend scream. The door had been closed, so Mystery Man kicks open the Super Happy Fun Room door. The alligator has killed them both. And while the two bodies are laying bloody in a kiddie pool, the alligator has her foot in his mouth. It's just an animatronic gator with a bare foot, and it's doing this. It's
pretty funny.
Pretty great, yeah. Mystery Man beats the snot out of the beret-wearing animatronic alligator. I forgot to tell you he was wearing a beret. And this kill, he rips the jaws open.
Yeah, obviously that's how you would kill an alligator.
Yes. The young woman whispers, "I'm so sorry," to her dead friends and leaves. So, she's okay again.
Nice.
Back in the arcade room where Loverboy is hiding, a sad animatronic creature comes in and says no one likes her. She was hoping that he was different. She says that she's stuck in this body with the others. She didn't want to be here. She's a chameleon, I found out later, and her skin changes color. And this scene is actually really cool because the first time I didn't catch it, the second time I did. I thought it was just lights bouncing off the arcades. Her actual animatronic skin is changing and moving colors. Pretty cool. I don't know how you would do that for an animatronic robot thing, but get on that, Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm sure it can be done.
It looked cool. She doesn't expect him to believe her. It's his whole sad story. She just wants a friend. She just wants to be released. Whatever. He falls for it.
Good job.
Yeah. Saying he could help her pass to the other side. And one of the lines that she says is, "I'll show you what's on the other side if you help me." Yeah.
Come on, man.
Exposition cop time. As they're driving to the building, the sheriff tells the bonus cop the guns that they have aren't for the trespassing teens. They're for Willy. And he laughs and he says, "The dancing rat?" That's the first time that I was like, oh, it's a rat. Fine, I guess I have to change my notes. She tells him about the demolition plans and the supernatural happenings. Apparently, before the demolition could take place, which obviously didn't happen, the contractor who had agreed to demolish the building when that was originally the plan was found in his home with his guts chewed on like a McDonald's hamburger.
That's a terrible metaphor.
Isn't it?
Absolutely atrocious metaphor.
It is, but I had to put it in there because of that.
Yeah, boo that metaphor.
Yes. We get a shot of him. He's in a trailer. It looks like he was living in a trailer while he was here at this set, and he's laying across a bed or a bench. It's hard to tell because everything looks like a wreck because it's all covered in blood, and his guts are just out of his body. I don't know how you eat McDonald's hamburgers.
Usually out of somebody's guts.
Okay. I understand now. I'm vegetarian. That's why I didn't get it right away. Okay, I get it. And after that, there were murders across town. In the ice cream shop, we see a whole murder scene. In the school, we see a whole murder scene. The sheriff made a deal with Willy. Leave the town be, and the town would feed them. The sheriff, the tow truck driver, and the business cowboy swore to the rat that they would feed him if they could have this pinky promise. And that's what I said. And they swore this to the rat that I thought was a tiger. They tried to find people who wouldn't be missed. Now we have cut shots of them just playing God, because there's nothing wrong with any of these folks that are being decapitated and feasted upon. Just people that wouldn't be missed. And I was like,
and what's the deal now?
So if they were going to demolish Willy's, but the serial killers obviously wanted to stop that. So they left Willy's and murdered the guy who was going to demolish it.
Yeah.
And then, because nobody else was coming to Willy's, they left Willy's to go and murder other people.
Okay.
And then
they said, if you don't do that, we'll give you people.
Yes.
Instead of locking them in there and burning the place down.
Oh, that's why the sheriff arrested the young woman, because the young woman was going to burn the place down.
Yeah.
But the sheriff doesn't want them to burn the place down.
Right. Why not?
Because they have a deal.
Why make that deal? Why not lock that place up like they did so that animatronics can't get out and then burn it down?
I don't know, because they made a deal, and when you pinky promise, you have to stick to your pinky promise.
Stupid deal. They're not getting anything out of it.
They're leaving the town folk alone.
I'm frustrated.
You don't like this deal that they made with the satanic animatronic suiciders? Not suiciders. The satanic animatronic serial killers?
No. I think you can kill the satanic animatronic serial killers and not have to make a deal with them. Obviously, they could be killed. Nicolas Cage is doing it.
Mystery Man.
Mystery Man.
So we cut back to the scene of the family at the beginning. So they were saying they would basically feed people to the serial killers that wouldn't be missed, and those who were there at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Wrong place, wrong time. So apparently the family's wrong place, wrong time. When the sheriff comes back in the morning, we see the tow truck driver say, here's the thing. The tow truck driver is talking to the parents, the two adults that we saw at the beginning. They also have a small child. So the tow truck driver says, the one hotel we have in town is booked solid, but I do have a place you could stay. It's not the Ritz, but it's got a roof over its head, and if you don't mind doing some light cleaning, it's free. So he takes him to Willy's Wonderland, which is a mess. It's a freaking wreck in there. Mm-hmm. It would be a liability lawsuit. Somebody's going to cut themselves on something, and there's no food, and there's no water, and I don't know if the toilets work. Like, take them to the next town. Whatever. I am against locking people in this place.
Yeah.
Instead of taking them to a motel. So all of that happens. We know that the adults die. The sheriff comes back in the morning. The parents are dead, but surprise, the little girl is alive. And also surprise, she's the young woman as a child.
I was going to say, surprise, she's wearing maroon Doc Martens.
Right. So as she was there as a young child, which is why she's trying to burn the place down, but also the sheriff has raised her, and there's a lot of, internal something, whatever. So that's the backstory. The young woman walks into the arcade, sees Chris, Loverboy, and the animatronic thing that he trusts. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "No, this is fine. Everything's fine." As the thing whips its tongue out, wraps it around his neck, and breaks his neck. Mystery Man walks in, and he readies for a fight. He's in his fighting stance. His alarm goes off. He looks at his watch. He hands her a knife, and he takes off because it's break time. He's got to get that punch pop and pinball time in. It is important to take breaks and pace yourself.
It is.
So she is fighting the thing. They wrestle. She stabs it repeatedly. Just, this woman's going to need some therapy for the rest of her life. And it corners her, Right around that time, Mystery Man returns from his break, beats the thing, drags it down the hall by its tongue. He wraps its own tongue around its neck and drags it down the hall. It's not dead, but he's just dragging it. The young woman's following behind him. The fairy and the turtle are standing in the hallway to block their way. He just punches them both in the face, knocks them out, and keeps going. He drags the thing to the door and kicks open the door at this point. And it opens. You know, the chained door?
Yeah.
It opens. And he finds the sheriff, and she has her shotgun in his face. She takes him back in, tells Bonus Cop to cuff him. When the Bonus Cop refuses, she says, "You will for your wife and baby." So now she's threatening an unborn child and a wife who has no idea what's going on. So, whatever. He cuffs Mystery Man. And
come on, dude.
Yeah, no, this guy sucks.
Yeah, because why do what she's telling you when she's threatening your family? Why not kill her?
This guy hasn't...
She's the one threatening your family.
This guy hasn't made any good decisions in his entire life. So Bonus Cop then takes the young woman outside while the sheriff apologizes to Willy. She's in there. She's like, "I'm sorry, Willy. This stuff that he's done isn't reflecting on anything that we've done. We still have a deal. You can still eat him or whatever." Whatever. She's appealing to Willy. As the young woman's being dragged out, she says, "He's not stuck in here with them. They're stuck in here with him."
Oh, come on.
It is a reference to...
The Watchmen.
Yes, Rorschach and the Watchmen.
That's also what I say to the cats if they don't leave before I shut the bedroom door.
So, they're referencing Rorschach and you?
Yes, they're referencing Rorschach. No, they're referencing me referencing Rorschach.
There you go. Bonus Cop is supposed to take the young woman to a cell and then return for the sheriff. And she says it should be done by then. So the sheriff's staying back, I guess, to keep him from coming out of the building again. I don't know. After the cop leaves, a voice says, "Hey, cowboy, ready for a menage a trois?" So it says to the Mystery Man. He kicks the jukebox and Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes plays.
Oh yeah, this is a kid's place.
Yes. The fairy and lizard square up, and he readies himself because remember the lizard wasn't dead. They start to dance fight. Mystery Man has handcuffs on, which doesn't keep him from killing the fairy with his knees.
Okay.
So we cut away and we cut back, and he's sitting on her chest with his knees on her neck, and somehow squeezes his knees up until he pulls her neck away from her body.
Oh, God.
It's whatever. Then he rips the handcuffs, which are zip ties. We hadn't seen them until now. He rips them apart and tears the head off the lizard as the song ends. Just pulls the head directly off of it. It's the least intense fight scene. It's the fastest fight scene that we see. But, you know, it has to be fast if you're going to do it if you're going to complete it in the time that you sing Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the young woman is trying to appeal to the Bonus Cop. It doesn't work, but he does stop the car because he's having a crisis of conscience. He stops long enough that the Spanish-speaking wizard, which actually turns out to be Tito the Turtle, but I definitely thought it was a wizard with a wizard robe, whatever, reaches in the car to kill him, whatever. There are subtitles and everything. This whole scene is bananas.
That sounds fantastic, but that means that the animatronics are leaving Willy's Wonderland.
They can now. The door's unlocked.
Yeah, but they're breaking the deal.
They're also being murdered.
They're breaking the deal.
They're serial killers.
That's why you don't make a deal with them. It was a stupid deal to begin with.
I agree.
And they're not even following it.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
You're the one telling me about
it. This is true. All right, so the Spanish-speaking wizard turtle is eating the Bonus Cop. Just, it's so good. These puppet things, or not puppets, these creatures that, they're like mascots, are just mowing down on heads, and shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes. It's great. I love it when they do that. The young woman bludgeons the turtle and heads back to the building where the sheriff, who's raised her from girlhood, is waiting for Willy and the gang to finish Mystery Man off. The only animatronic left is Willy now, inside the play palace. Mystery Man is cleaning again because he's got to clean this goddamn place. That's his job. He's keeping to his deal. He's bagging bodies, he's wiping walls, he's polishing chrome. Zoom out, and holy shit, this place is immaculate. This place has never looked better.
That's funny.
It looks so good. He walks up to Willy, and they kind of stare at each other. Willy's not moving. Willy's an animatronic robot turned off. And the watch alarm goes off. Beep, 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 beep. Go back into the kitchen. Hand washing scene. We zoom in on the hands. Lots of soap. Lots of vigorous scrubbing. Punch, pop, and pinball time. This time he's dancing to the pinball machine. And now that you know it's Nicolas Cage, here's the piece of trivia. Nicolas Cage improvised the pinball dance. It's a phenomenal scene. It's great. He breaks 10 million points while dancing and playing this pinball game. There's a victory air punch. His alarm goes off, breaks over. 10 million points during his, 15-minute break?
Yeah.
Crazy. He walks out of the building with a trash bag because the door's open, startling the sheriff who had dozed off at the truck. There's a truck out there, too. She had dozed off. He slow waves at her and heads back inside. The sheriff comes in. Oh, what did she say? GDWTF or something like that? Like, she doesn't curse at all, but she's feeding people to serial killers. So, gotta watch your language. She comes up behind him and pulls the gun on him. At gunpoint, she walks him inside saying, all you had to do was die. Now 5 kids are dead. Yeah, like it's his fault. But it's not over. Willy has to eat. She calls Willy. She's calling him. She's holding him at gunpoint, holding Mystery Man at gunpoint. The music changes as the rat appears behind her. She turns, gasps, and wham! With one slice of his rat claws, he chops her body full in half. Blood spurts out everywhere. Both times I watched this, I said, oh, gross, out loud to myself because I was the only one down here. Just blood pumping out of her body.
I think I heard you exclaim.
Mystery Man watches the top half of her body fall off and onto the ground. He looks at Willy, who's now destroyed his clean floor, and Willy throws him against the wall where there's a button to push for the birthday song to play, which is a terrible idea in a kid's play palace because you know how many times that would be pushed? Constantly.
You gotta put it high enough that a child can't reach it.
Yes, it wasn't high enough. Lots of cuts as Willy slashes Mystery Man, cutting him. There's claw marks. The song slows down creepily. The effects, I love it. It's almost as much as I love Christmas music as horror music. Mm-hmm. Kid songs as horror music. Just love it. There's confetti falling. Everything's slow motion. Mystery Man is tossed into the ball pit. The music almost stops, but it's a miracle. Mystery Man's hand shows up. He climbs out of the ball pit because we weren't sure. We thought maybe he was dead. The lights are flashing. Confetti is falling. There's a great shot of Mystery Man in the doorway. He's silhouetted against all of the chaos behind him. It's gorgeous. He turns on the light and he's in the kitchen. He puts the 4 remaining punch pops in a bag. The music changes to some triumphant, like, we're gonna get it, Rocky movie, like, yes, let's cheer for this guy. He grabs the mop pole that he's taped together now. Remember, he bludgeoned the ostrich with it earlier. And the Bago punch pop is what I wrote. So he's got the bag and the sticks. Willy and he stand off and the music gets quiet. There's a lot of music and lighting happening. It's pretty fun. Now there's fight music. Because you gotta fade out so that you can have the fight music. Willy slices him. They fight. Willy growls. Mystery Man beats the ever-loving god out of Willy with the bag of punch pop and the mop handle. Confetti is still falling. I said, how is this place ever clean? Oily blood is everywhere. Mystery Man pulls Willy's head off. Oil splatters across the name of the place on the wall, and he walks away. The next morning, the Chevy is being driven like an asshole. Business cowboy and tow truck guy are waiting to go inside. We cut over and we see a bag move in the trash can, and Scary Fairy crawls out of it. The business cowboy and tow truck guy notice that the chain is off the door. It's on the ground. And the 2 men peer through the boarded up window to see the place immaculate again. Business cowboy says, son of a bitch. They enter as Scary Fairy spots a lighter and the camera pans across to the gas tanks that the kids had left.
Nice.
Mystery Man is playing pinball, you know, as you do, after you clean a place 11 times in one night.
Yeah.
He hears the door open and he goes out. The 2 men are surprised. He holds his hand out for the car keys, gets them, and leaves. Outside, the young woman walks up. She and Mystery Man stare at each other, and then they both get in his car. He turns up the music, drives off like an asshole. The two guys go outside. Hats off to Mystery Man. They laugh and say, "It's over. It's actually over." Business Cowboy tells Tow Truck Guy they're going to celebrate. On him. They joke about how they're going to reopen the place for real this time, and what the gimmick's going to be. It's going to be some Texas-related thing. You know, Business Cowboy named Tex. They're having a grand old time. Scary Fairy appears in the rear view and says, "Thanks for visiting Willy's Wonderland. Hope you had a fantabulous time." And then blows them up in their car. She had the lighter and there was gas, and so they all explode. As Mystery Man and Young Woman drive off, we see the explosion in his mirrored glasses, even though he's driving in the opposite direction. Yeah. He opens a punch pop. He's about to take a sip, and Young Woman looks at him. He hands it to her. She drinks it like it's ambrosia. The Spanish-speaking animatronic is in the road as they're driving away. Mystery Man hits the gas. The thing says, "Oh shit," in Spanish, and is hit by the car, broken to bits. They drive off into the sunset. The end.
Nick Cage has 0 lines in this?
He has 0 speaking lines.
That's funny.
He says nothing at all. We do hear him grunt some during the fight scenes, but yeah. He was actually intrigued by having no lines in the script.
Yeah.
It was well done. And you know what? He didn't need to say anything.
No.
I can't imagine what he could have said that would have added to this. So, would you watch this?
Halfway through, I was thinking, I want to watch this. And then figured out that it was Willy's Wonderland. And I had no interest in that movie before this.
That's great!
Yeah, because the last thing we watched with Nick Cage that was supposed to be amazing was Mandy.
Yeah.
And we quit halfway through because it was terrible.
I know. I feel like I've heard a couple of people mention it. I wonder if I need to revisit it.
What I kept getting was, no, like that's when it gets good. 45 minutes into a movie, you can't bore the hell out of me.
Right.
For 45 minutes.
I agree. So you weren't going to see it, but now you're...
Now I think we are going to pause this recording. I am going to watch it, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to say something about it.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Okay, let's do that.
All right.
Yay! I'll watch it 3 times in 4 days.
All right, so everybody hold tight. Well, we watched it.
Yep, and we have a special guest.
It was a thing.
Special guest, me.
This is Riley. All right, so David and Riley have both watched Willy's Wonderland. What are your initial thoughts?
I liked listening to you describe it. That was nice.
You liked me better than watching the movie?
I wish they had a better budget for a score.
Yeah.
I think if it was scored right, it would have felt different and been better. I think it would have made a huge difference, actually.
I think so. I liked the children's music as horror music. I think I mentioned that before.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to change that, but I think some of the other score areas could have been bolder, maybe?
Yeah, just better. That's I'm not a music engineer, so...
You're not?
I'm just going to say better.
Okay. What did you guys like about it?
The concept. The concept was good.
Yeah.
The concept was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. I mean, other than the concept, really, the execution was okay.
The execution was good enough.
Yeah. I did like Nicolas Cage in one of his wacky roles.
Yeah. I liked that he had no lines.
That's what I was going to ask. How did you guys feel about him having no speaking lines?
I liked the no lines. I hated the dye job on his hair and beard.
You did mention that. What did you hate, Riley?
I hated the intelligence of the teenagers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they made some of the worst decisions in any horror movie ever.
Yeah, you weren't here when I was telling him the recap, and they were very one-dimensional. And just being...
Yeah, there were 2 people that were just sex, one that was the outcast nerd, the alpha male, and then the one that's trying to get the girl.
Who was the alpha male?
The alpha male was kind of the just sex guy.
The other guy. The one... I totally don't remember his name.
Is he the one that got stabbed by the knight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he alpha?
I wouldn't call him that. But that's because I'm Sigma.
Oh.
I thought it was funny. I don't know if it was intended by the writers. The one teenager that survived was actually named Liv.
That's true.
Could have been.
Which is a good comment because in the whole hour ahead of this, I call her young woman.
I don't think I have anything to add beyond that.
Okay, well, I thought this would be a livelier discussion than it turned out to be. Okay, we could have really had this discussion on the way to Smoothie King.
Yep. Peace out, yo. The Cast Files is produced by Kristen Riley and Dave Reed. Edited by Dave Reed. You can find us on Twitter at Cast Files. You can find me on Twitter at Dave Reed. That's DaiveReed. You can email us at thecastfiles. That's the with 2 E's at gmail.com. If you could please go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, and tell us that we are doing phenomenal things. Artistic, wonderful things. We are raising the bar on podcasting. We would love you forever for that. We have a TeePublic store. You can go buy t-shirts and stuff there. Music by House 6. Logo by @OokaArt. That's OOKAART.